Mr. Lingorski, indeed, the last 5 years were a period of building resilience in the automotive industry, including in the context of the extremely challenging regulations that pushed the industry to its edge, but hopefully it passed this challenge. Now to discuss what the future holds, what the next 5 years will bring to us, I would invite on stage our next speaker, who will firstly address a similar overview analysis on the automotive industry in particular, but then I will kindly ask him to stay on stage in order to lead the discussions in the future of mobility and automotive industry panel discussion as a moderator. And please welcome on stage for managing this dual role, Mr. Dimitar Dimitrov, Senior Manager in Technology, Strategy and Transformation at Deloitte.
Hello, everybody. I have to thank Mr. Lingorski for the reality check. So whatever I will say from now on should be a little bit more positive, I hope. We talk about a customer study. I'm very pity about all those people that are doing studies right now, because the time it takes to get the data and to reshape it and get the insight from them and to try to share it to the audience is not enough, because everything is already changed. So we have to find a way to live in a very pacey way of living and working and producing, because everything is changing right now. I first want to thank my colleagues that actually do the hard job for us. So for me it's just to show you some numbers, because, you know, Deloitte, we show numbers. And we are doing this study maybe more than 15 years, and what is, let's say, catchy, you can see and check by the years some of the main topics that were relevant back then, and actually it's quite obvious right now. Like, of course, we're using hybrids, you know, but in 2012 it was just the start of the journey for the hybrids. How many of you are actually using hybrids on electric vehicles in the audience? Just to cross-check the numbers that I will show you later. So pretty much Bulgaria match the numbers. Shared mobility was very keen topic in 2014. It's not here yet. We talk about autonomous driving. It's coming, it's arriving. And the first fear from the full electric vehicles, you know, concerns and hopes that the lower fuel cost that will be, let's say, taking care for the nature, because we're not using fossil fuels. And then the concerns about the batteries, some explode, some burn. Is it safe, is it not? It's software defined, is it good, is it bad? It is all topics that we will share with you, I will share with you today. But first, let's start with some data regarding the sales. What have changed for 5 years? In sales point of view, when we talk about selling vehicles, we can see that China has made a great, how to say, eruption in the automotive industry, with doubling their sales. We cannot ignore that they are part of the automotive world now, and they taking a big chunk from the sales. And for all the rest of the countries and producers, we see that the numbers doesn't change pretty much for the last 5 years. And talking about electric vehicles, also for the 5 years, more than 25% rising of the sales of electric vehicles or hybrids, and especially 46% in China. And what we expect until 2030, it's not going to be much increased in sales, what is expected, about 5 million more, which is a bit different than what was 5 years ago until 2025, when we have more than 15 million increase in total sales of vehicles, mostly light vehicles and vans. Here are some key highlights which are interesting to note. In even global EV growth, mainly in Eastern Asia, brand loyalty is shifting. I don't know if Gen Z plays a part in it, but brand loyalty is something that all the automotive have to think about it and how to secure it. Double edge for the digital services, updates over the air, and software-defined vehicles. Some of the market sees it as opportunity. More mature market sees it as we're not still there yet. You know, we want to feel private. We want to feel secure. So it is interesting. 87% of the Canadian vehicles bought are serviced into the dealers that they were bought from. And this is the highest percentage. In Germany, for example, you'll see a bit later, it's quite low, which actually surprised me as these numbers. So let's start. There's a few topics. First is vehicle electrification. You see some numbers. Still, by markets, what is the difference between using the internal combustion engines against using all kind of electrified vehicles, hybrids, etc., etc. US still relies on the V8s, for example, but Europe and Asia is switching the numbers and getting more equal to 50-50. So this shows the big growth what we have seen for the last 5 years. And these are the mostly defined reasons why customers will choose an electric vehicle for his next one. And we can see that they're expecting the better life experience, you know, trying something new to give him the idea that he gets the latest trends. He can use all the credits for it. And driving experience and faster charging speeds. This is what we see for the last 2 or 3 years, that every new model is with extended range. It can take you 600 miles and up, and we are still waiting for the breakthrough in the batteries that will give us 1,000 miles range, etc., etc. And what the owners expect? They expect to charge their vehicles at home, which brings the infrastructure on the table. It's not just trying to sell the vehicle, we have to sell the full package. You see there's a lot of difference between East and West. Is it cultural? Is it maturity of the market? We'll see. Preference for the public charging location. Expectation is to be able to charge it easily at home, but also people expect to have dedicated chargers because we're used to it with the gas stations, etc., etc. Charging cost is one of the main concerns. That's why probably people try to and want to be able to charge it at home, just to be able to save some money. Preferred method of paying, we can also see that the new technology is coming here. Okay, we have usually preferred this to using credit debit cards, but also we see the rise of apps. So it is to be quite easily for the user just to scan a code or just have an app and just pay from there, which is something normal and really should be expected. Greatest concerns, as we all know, it's a safety feature, it's the battery features, the battery replacement costs. This is what are the main concern when we talk about EVs. But EVs is not the main focus of the industry. It's about future vehicle intentions. How our consumers decide what to buy, when to buy it. We talked about a bit earlier about the brand awareness, and in China, it's nearly non-existing. Maybe because they have too many manufacturers, too many options to choose from, but it's 72% will switch to a new vehicle. Like the opposite world, we have Japan with only 41%. Well, if you drive Toyota, why you should drive something else? This is explainable. But what are the consumer expecting from those cars? They're expecting product quality, they're expecting good price. After the COVID, you saw what happened, and it became more and more costly to own a vehicle, to lease a vehicle, to be able to have the latest technology. We have to pay more, and this is represented here very clearly. Also, there's a big shift, or we'll see in the near future how we choose to buy the next vehicle and from where. Of course, going to the dealership is still preferred, but you see that there's many more options that are rising in different markets, and it's become more and more, let's say, everyday choice to watch, search online, to choose. I have bought the vehicle online 12 years ago. Well, not me, my boss bought it for a company car, just seeing a picture and some characteristic, and we paid the car, and the car arrived, and I'm 190 tall, he's 160. He went to see the car because the car looks very shiny. He enters the vehicle and said, it's a bit tight, don't you think? I was asking, for you? He said, yeah. Well, for me, it's even worse, but we had already bought the car, which actually was a surprise because it was SUV, so it's supposed to be a big car for the big guys. Okay. Purchase experience, getting all my questions answered. So they expect a quality. I don't know how many of you have bought a car recently and have to deal with dealerships and with sales guys there. And what is your, let's say, customer experience from those interactions? I bought a car 2 months ago. I can share a lot on the private conversations, but we have to improve in this because manufacturing the vehicle is only the start of the journey. We have to be able to share the experience and to give this feeling to have this new vehicle to the customers. They have to buy it from you, and the price is not the most important factor. It has always been the customer experience. And connectivity, also very, very, very important topic, but it is focused for now mainly on the safety features. As you can see, the top 3 lines, all in green, mostly safety features. Data sharing. This is also something that has become more important lately. How we connect with the vehicle, what the vehicle do with our data, and how we connect with apps, etc., etc. In China, they expect the vehicle to speak in Mandarin. Okay. As you see, for Germany, it's not so important for the local language. And maybe for me, one of the most important or interesting topics is the software-defined vehicles. This is something that become more and more relevant. Maybe it started with Tesla, I don't know. But this is something which we speak about sensors, we speak about software, we speak about vehicles. And this is the data, how the customer perceives the software-defined vehicles. Do they use it like it to be good or not? Is it useful or they're against it, etc., etc. Again, you see a big difference between the East and the West, but the trends are going to be equal and more equal with every year. Updates over the air. For the mature markets, this is something that is, should be basic feature, included into the basic price. You shouldn't pay more to have over the air. It is like buying a cell phone and not having 5G right now. You expect to have it. But in India, in China, it is, we'll see a bit later, maybe on the next slide, I'm not sure. No, it is the AI, that in India, they want to have over-the-air updates, and this will be a reason for them to prolong the life of the vehicle. They will keep it longer if they have these updates, which is not okay for the dealerships. AI is important. I think that we're still not there. Asians expect everything to be AI controlled. Okay, a temperature, the braking distance, the entry function, etc., etc. For Western market, is not the same. This is the India and the OTA. Vehicle servicing, I'll just be very quick over this. What is changing and what is this? It's still what is important for the customers when they want to service their vehicles. They want to see the price and the quality. This is the most important factors for them. And where to serve them, the new vehicles, obviously still the customers prefer to serve them in their official service dealers. So they expect to have the quality and the correct price there. And my last slide, this is the forecast for the manufacturing. You see, it is from 2021 until 2029. I marked 2023 as the peak of the produced vehicles. I choose some brands, some popular, some not so popular, as you can see. And in 2024, after this peak, you see only 2 brands actually managed to keep up and increase the production of vehicles. And they keep increasing from then. And most of the brands, which are actually very famous brands, they didn't able to keep up from 2023. And only 2 of them will be able, or this is their forecast, to reach or to surpass the numbers from 2023. I think for me this is the most important slide from the whole presentation, because we talk about the industry, how it should evolve and what we have to expect. And after the last 2-3 months with the Hormuz and all the economic stress, global, I think that those numbers will be even lower. So everybody has to actually adapt to this, because we know the vehicle manufacturers, they're just the peak of the industry, but a lot more people rely on how many cars that they will produce. One colleague told me that for one German worker, there are 20 workers in the peripheral manufacturing that works for this vehicle. Those numbers for Stellantis, for me, I think they're pretty optimistic, but you see only 2 are planning to reach and surpass 2023. So we have to prepare for some interesting times in the next several years, so we have to adapt. We have to use the latest technology. We have to be able to understand them and to be more productive, more effective. And yeah, I want to be more optimistic, but but it is what is, and it is not the hardest time that we have been. So we just need to adapt and just to move on. And yeah, thank you.